Randolph. And then for UCLA, London Jones. Shots from Arenas.
I don't know if he likes him off the pass or the dribble.
Arenas dumps it in. Gets it back. Off to Amari Berry. Berry has it knocked away. Taken by Dudley. Gardner's three. Rims off. Bodies hit the floor, and a foul against UCLA. It'll be Gabriela. Louisville upset. No call there as Betts finishes plus the foul. And Lauren Betts a chance for three.
Last 3 possessions in a row, UCLA has gotten the ball inside to Lauren Betts, and it will pay dividends. Here she has the opportunity for the and one. The 2 previous possessions, she has that Roberts has been their most consistent three-point shooter throughout the course of training camp. And how about her today? 3 of 6 from 3.
Nice finish on the interior from Jaquez. Jaquez lays it in.
Barker takes the open look. And on the weak side, it is Soka Nguman tracking down the offensive board. And Arnesalo wants to reset. To the corner, Jaquez. She knocks down the triple. Gabriela Jaquez is first.
Great half-court set here, creating some space off ball for Jaquez to knock down the corner 3. I love the Bruins going more to try and be more of a three-point shooting team this season. So far, so good this season. Bench, so UCLA can play a little more freely today.
Gardner just gets herself inbounds after the missed layup by Masher. Betts running the floor, wants it, and finishes. She's now in double figures with 11 points here in the first half. That's already their 5th made 3. Muka's got 9.
She's showing a little swag, too, on the offensive end.
Jaquez a quick answer in the mid-post. Behind the line, thought about the 3. Now trying to get herself inside, and a great feed, but Vic couldn't finish it off. UCLA shooting 63% so far. Jaquez inside. The hook crawls into the bucket. 7 for Jaquez.
On the floor.
4.5 to play in the third quarter. And falling away, Sattel. Deep 3 there. Barker another rebound. She's closing in on a double-double. That's calling for it. She's got it and finds a cutting Jaquez, and that is right how you draw it up. Now for Arnesalo to go along with 8 assists. Got double-doubles for both Janiah Barker and Lauren Betts. And less than 2 minutes to go. Friend trying to scoop it up towards Vic. That's easy pickings for Kendall Dudley. Bounce pass for Jaquez. Fast break points for UCLA. How about 52 points in the paint for UCLA today?
Wow. Shows you exactly the way they like to play. They'll leave you with a few bruises once the game is done.
From the outside, Gardner off the heel, but Arnesalo tracks it down, and Jaquez has 2 more. She's up to 13 now with those last 2 makes.
Arnesalo
Johnson from the corner, off the side of the backboard. And Arnesalo brings it across the timeline, looking for Jaquez again, towing the end line, able to keep it in. And it's worked back out. Kane in and out on the triple, offensive board, Jaquez, and she's got 2 more. Little burst from Gabriela.
September. Wow. Practicing against your own team, but this is what translates to games. Running the floor and rewarded. Jaquez Jaquez with the deuce, but how about the freshman's pass? Knock off game clock at 12 right here. High pick from Dugalich. Oh, a little garbage basket by Jaquez. And that'll do it. What a close to the first quarter for 5th-ranked UCLA. By Dudley. She's scoring, she's assisting, she's having a heck of a game, the yearling. Long ball. Still not there for Arkansas. Kalia rimming out. One and done. Here's Jaquez. Betts. Just, it's my kitchen. I'll tell you when I'm going to just start cooking.
This is a team that is young, even though they've got veterans. They just have not had a chance to play together with all these new faces for this Arkansas team.
One senior on Arkansas's club, and that's Higginbottom, but she's in her first year with the team. It's going to take this club a little while to gel. Jaquez, baseline. Jaquez, a little short, but she'll go to the line.
This week's Freshman of the Week, Silas Swartz of Michigan. The guard from Sudbury, Ontario, burst onto the scene. Congratulations, Silas Swartz.
Powell just short, good box out. That was Janiah Barker who's checked in for the Bruins, the transfer from Texas A&M. And the aggressive drive by Jaquez. She gets fouled and will go to the line. But what did Dawn Staley tell us? She said, we want to cut down the efficiency of Lauren Betts. She shoots at 75%. We don't want to let her shoot 70+%.
And it is about making sure she doesn't get deep touches. She is 6'7", but she's also extremely skilled. She can go over her left shoulder, over her right shoulder. She's got good footwork. Puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense and creates open lanes for the rest of her team. And she's going to take a rest right here. But South Carolina, again, off to a slow start. This is not new. They have been off to slow starts this season, and it hasn't affected them. They're undefeated. They also, if you remember the national championship game against Iowa, got down 10-0. Yeah. Didn't matter. They're a team, when that buzzer sounds and they bring in another wave of McDonald's All-Americans, they bring another set.
There's lots of talent, the depth on both sides, 291 wins for Corey Close. She's creeping closer to the great Billy Moore as first points. That's Tessa Johnson on the drive, the sophomore. It's the bench, though, Elise. They create so much of the offense.
There's no question. They just have waves of scoring, athleticism, and athletes that are available for Dawn Staley. Matchups, whatever you need, she's got it. 9 players from last year's national championship team returning.
And the outside jumper is good. A perimeter look
early in the season, a top 5 matchup, and the fans love it. And of course, South Carolina going to face number 8 Iowa State coming up next. It doesn't get any easier.
Kits couldn't get the putback. That's one that would typically drop. That extra effort just not able to capitalize. But the competition has been good on both sides. But this one, no doubt, the toughest for both. But right now,
London so true out of her hands. The national championship game, 19 points, just so good. Just a sophomore, but experienced.
She is perfect, 3 for 3 shooting. 7 of the 10 points for South Carolina going to Tessa Johnson.
Now the 3-point shot is the specialty of London Jones, and this is such a good job of spacing. The defense sinks into the paint. London Jones on the weak side. She's playing through a face mask and a broken nose, and that affects your shooting and vision. She made 87 threes last year, and so very small sample size with her. You know she's going to heat up, and guess what? She's getting hot right now.
When you were talking about that personalized face mask, before she got that made, she had to use just kind of a generic one that had a little bit of a longer nose on it. And so she's
in that passing lane, knocking it away to get the position or possession, but then they give it right back.
Janiah Barker back in for the Bruins. Dugalich will get a rest. With 5 points, 4 rebounds. She's been all over the glass. Jaquez back on as well. Jaquez flash into the high post. Trying to lose the D and finally does. Gabriela Jaquez with another one. It's the long rebound and another one.
And a cheer from her family. She's got 18 points. She's perfect from deep, 4 for 4. Just not enough for South Carolina here. And that 43-game winning streak is coming to a halt.
And this team, this is one of the kinds of games that she I think said, this team really needed it. She told them, lean into this challenge, lean into the difficult play and the difficult times.
And no intimidation factor whatsoever. They look comfortable. They look confident from the tip.
Free throw's good.
Florence responsible, the assistant coach for the Wahine, for this defense. He's been so good with it the last couple of seasons.
Good follow-up, Jaquez.
Good patience there by Imai.
Jaquez off glass. Extra pass, corner, Jaquez, that's good. And just like that, UCLA, open shots from outside the arc. That's an open look there for Jones, unable to hit, followed up and in though. Imai, she got capped up top by Betts. Beating the shot clock buzzer, drew nothing. UCLA the other way. Jaquez, and the Bruins rolling now.
That's where you see the beauty of the game of Arnesalo, right? She kind of, it's not
40, but they keep everybody else in check.
Ladine, second jumper of the game, no good, and the rebound collected by Gardner. Pushing ahead, Jaquez runs free, and she's got a bucket. 3 on the shot clock. Ladine able to get rid of it a couple of times. She's got that grenade at the end of the shot clock. Here's Jaquez. What a finish in transition with the left hand off window.
Maybe a little bit from the middle on her, but once she gets deep in that and goes baseline, there's just really no help.
That's the first player in double figures. She's got 10, and now the fast break situation. Rice up ahead and puts it home. UCLA coming out.
Move her, player one-on-one, and not let anybody else get going. They had great success with that with Charlize Ledger-Walker. The one year, what did she score? 48, 50 points, but UW won the game, so but we'll see if they make an adjustment.
You mentioned Charlize Ledger-Walker. Yeah, she put a 40 spot up as Washington won that game. Jaquez with the 3 ball, and speaking of Charlize Ledger-Walker, she is going to redshirt. Made 3. They've now made 6 in the ball game. Betts in deep again, and that was a tough angle. The former #1 recruit in the nation.
Just played her right hand, played the refusal, but hey, Savia Sellers still was able to draw the foul.
Corey Close has said that Arnesalo is the second fastest player on the Bruin roster, and she's still learning how to play defense. She's a freshman, and she's from Finland. It's different concepts. And frankly, most of the time there's just a different attention to detail defensively in the American game compared to the European game.
This team, but man, can they D it up? And it's team defense. They're switching, they've got posts playing out on the perimeter, guards playing in the post.
Betts again in the lane and in again.
Cut hard and get somebody open.
Sellers. Checked by Rice, has a room. Off the front rim, won't go. Washington has 8 made 3s in the game. That one won't go, and then the leak out by UCLA. Smart play, right place, right. One of the fastest players in the nation when she was at Arizona, and was a freshman here at the University of Washington as well. Beautiful dime, Jaquez, the cutter, and UCLA.
Cross shot from the corner, in and out.
I mean, that was a great kick and a great drive. You got to knock it down. I would like to see the Beach just drive a little bit more. Great finish. That was a great finish, though, with that left hand.
Free throw is good. The first quarter comes to a close. Well, Bruins lead here 28-8 as they start the second quarter with a basketball and Jaquez the lay-in.
And a great how it is now. They just play all around good basketball. I mean, like we know, they really do dominate in the paint offensively. They move the ball really well. For this Beach team defensively, I'm kind of curious to see what man-to-man defense would look like. They've kind of been in a zone this entire game so far.
Cross shot, nice fake, and the finger roll finish.
Great ball movement, way to take care of the ball that possession. and way to get all the way to the rim. I mean, I said it earlier, right now, you know, you don't have bets in. You want to attack. But you also have to, you know,
Stanford and both Arizona schools. And we won the conference. My first 6 years, we won 5 out of the 6 years. And we still played UCLA and SC, but to showcase this is great. It's great for the players.
Well, something you just said about, you know, you beat up on UCLA decades ago and they stopped playing you, and that's something that in today's day and age of, you know, the major conferences and mid-major conferences, you don't see. Amy Wright was willing to, as we see Savannah Tucker at the drive and the layup, she was really willing to kind of take on that little sister mentality and say, you know, coaches like Corey Close and Lindsey Gottlieb are, you know, helping to grow the game here in Southern California by scheduling these types of...
Yeah, and, you know, neither one has to schedule this game, but I like it, and I think it's good for the game. It's particularly good for women's basketball here in the Southland.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that was a nice move there.
If you don't mind me asking, I mean, what have you been liking so far from what you've seen from both these teams?
Off the bench in that win against the Beach.
Brian, she just started this game. She did the pinch in the finger. She said, "You're too little for me."
And driving inside there would be Sydney Borland. This is the 11th meeting between these two. Bruins have won all 10 of the prior encounters. London Jones hits the three.
Expect her to make it in. She's starting on the right page today.
The Bruins winning by an average of 35 points in their 10 prior meetings. The last one coming 2 years ago, which happened to be the freshman debut of one Gabs Jaquez, who scored in double figures 2 years ago.
Lucky for Duglich that she is surrounded by so many hard workers on the defensive end of the floor. It's infectious, really, the way that players like Barker and Arnasalo right here, Jaquez, all putting the pressure on.
Putting the pressure on in the backcourt, that is Jaquez adjusts and scores over Nora Perez. Turnover off the ball pressure in the backcourt. Another deflection. Jaquez against Perez, deflected and...
Creighton Blue Jays able to grab the board. Here's the three ball. A very good shooting team is Creighton. That's how they will pull off the upset. Tamia Gardner. Absolutely. Here's Kennedy Townsend, too strong, and Barker rising high to grab that rebound.
Jen Flannery said, hey, we just want to stay close to UCLA on the glass. We know we're giving up a lot of advantage in terms of height and maybe even speed to get to those kinds of possessions on the board.
Puts it off glass.
Yes, she's been struggling mightily offensively for Creighton, and they really need for her to crack the code offensively and get some buckets.
Oh, they'll take the lucky bounce too. Well, Blue Jays there, and it bounces off both of them.
Get into, right? A lot of three-player action.
She tried to state her claim, but referees weren't taking it. Here she is inside, getting another look at it. The jump hook short, tracks down her own miss.
Look at that crowd around Barker, but she was still able to corral it.
Arnasalo for three, too strong. Jaquez with the offensive rebound. He says, let's just go platoon. He takes all 5 of his Blue Jays off the floor, inserts a new 5.
I mean, they get 62%.
Last-ditch defense by the Cornhuskers.
Barker will swing it. Jaquez loads up a three. Her 8th triple of the season. Duglich, who also has 4 assists. Jaquez gets the post feed.
Go to the free throw line, but just incredible stamina from Jaquez there.
Jaquez had a season-high 17, has scored 100 points. They beat Long Beach State 102-51. She had a minor
sets on offense, but they were able to calm down and get to the basketball that we've been seeing them playing these first few months of the season, and it's been a joy to watch them when they're firing.
That was Rimdahl at the line going 1 of 2.
You knew it as soon. She faced the #1 team in America, South Carolina, to start her career, and she almost a 6-point loss in game 1 for Michigan. She showed no fear. This goes to show you there's no easy bucket.
I know you want to maybe come back and get yourself a little bit of a better angle. My only question to her was, did she feel like she was too far underneath the bucket?
Backdoor cut. Michigan's Olivia Olson, who just recently had to take a seat on the bench. Oh, great job at splitting the lane. Kendall Dudley. Rice swings it on the skip pass. Good catch by Lauren Betts. The pass off target, and then she returns a beautiful dime to Jaquez.
Gives me the feels, Elise. You were a player. I was a player.
Your mom and dad are in the stands,
today. There's just something really special about that feel. Gives me goosebumps to see her parents over there.
No question. Hawkeyes straight line drive. And Asalo drives and kicks. A Barker pull-up jumper. That one was off the moment it left her hands. Hobbs behind the back. Cam Schrader's been in double figures the last 2 games in a row, but has been quiet offensively, has yet to get a bucket. Hobbs gets checked by Jaquez. Barker spin move, feels contact. 3-ball by Dugali.
Defense shift, but that ball has good energy when it's working around the perimeter.
The 4th block for Betts, tying a season high.
We're down to about 25% today, but a quick second chance, and Gabriela Jaquez with the 2. There certainly has to be a little bit of an adjustment for the players, because there have been quite a number of fouls called off the ball, not too much contact, so players have to keep their hands to themselves.
Indiana still on the 9-0 run, trying to tie or take the lead. Shea Chesky bats it up against the defense of London Jones. Drives by her, but then Jones recovers. Up ahead, Jaquez in transition, count it, and the foul on Parrish.
And that's probably the first time we've seen UCLA get out in the open floor. You see the impact of Betts defensively stepping in for the help. And then Gabriela Jaquez, so long, so smooth in the open floor. Momentum shifting type of bucket for UCLA.
Yeah, that stops the 9-0 run. Jaquez was great in that win against Michigan on Thursday. And trying to complete a 3-point play here. And she does. Alina Arnesalo returns. One of the best
Defending Betts so well in the post. They were fronting her. They couldn't lob it in, and then Barker just knocks in an easy one.
Parrish cannot connect from the wing, and here comes Kiki Rice. Jones down inside to Betts. Kick out. Jaquez in rhythm. Yes. And just like that, a quick 5-0 spurt for the Bruins.
And I was going to say, Jaquez.
This Hoosiers team, 6-game win streak. Trying to hang with UCLA, but Betts and UCLA right now too much. Rice slips it into Jaquez. She's had a big second half. She wants to go one-on-one with Gardner. In the corner, Garzone, and off the mark. Crowd was ready to explode, but not to be.
And she's been really good from 3 all season. She makes about 3 per game. We mentioned at 40%, but the length that she's been met with on the perimeter is tough to get them up and in this matchup.
Just the 4th all-time meeting between these two teams, and right now UCLA with a inside of 10 to shoot. Moore McNeil comes back to grab it. 15-footer, too much. Strickland puts it back. Indiana gets it down to 10.
UCLA slowing things down. They want to be diligent and using a little bit of clock here. Work for a great shot, and Indiana has switched to a zone defense here the last 2 possessions.
Pass inside that zone, and Jaquez is fouled, and you can see the frustration for Caroline Strickland. She's 3:09 remaining.
And Strickland really was doing all she could, battling with Betts.
2 at the line for Jaquez. Jaquez, not only a great basketball player, was a great softball player in high school. Could have played D1 for softball, but Basketball was her passion, and she's able to get her own miss here.
London Jones with the ball for UCLA. Into Rice, who finds the lane and an easy two.
Great job of Kiki Rice of attacking the top foot of her defender and getting to the paint.
Destiny Lombard almost getting an opportunity there. It is stolen away by UCLA. That's Gabriela Jaquez, and very quickly, 7-0 UCLA. That's getting a bunch of touches. Nice feed. What a marvelous pass from Janiyah Barker.
You cannot give the higher-ranked team easy opportunities, and fouling and getting them to the free throw line and things like this, an offensive rebound just buries you.
Dudley kicking it over to Jaquez. Has the advantage off the bounce, up and in.
She doesn't look strong before.
She doesn't get the roll. Jaquez is there for the rebound, kicks it back out. Jones, triple try, is true.
I truly believe that London Jones is sort of the secret recipe, the X factor for this UCLA team. When she's knocking down threes, they are unbeatable.
First lead for UCLA since it was 5-4 in the first quarter. 9 minutes to go here in the second quarter of play.
That's just disruptive. Marietta, Georgia. She did something the other night watching the UCLA game. There was an offensive rebound. She set a screen for Dugalich to get the kick out and make a three.
That three is good by Gabriela Jaquez. Largest lead. Nice job by Barker pounding the basketball home. She's got 5 now here in the third quarter. But the conversation about the units, thank you, Don Staley. Thank you, everybody who has gotten to the Final Four in the last 10 years or so in particular, talking about the disparity between the men and the women. And Jaquez is saying, you're going to leave me alone? I'm going to hit him.
Just continues to work on that three-point shot. Jaquez comes into this game over the last 4 games, 13 assists, and has not turned the ball over. So you're contributing, you're shooting, you're running the floor, you're doing a lot of great things, but you're contributing by getting the ball to other people.
There she picks up the personal foul. Brings international experience to the Bruins as well, as she played this summer with Mexico at the FIBA World Cup.
Yeah, you talk to the staff from UCLA and they're so impressed with the work that she did with the Mexican team and how much that has powered her forward. Just unfortunately, her brother with the Miami Heat playing tonight will head right to the airport for a red-eye back home. I'll have to stop somewhere in Kansas, regas the plane, and tomorrow it's time to get to class.
That three is off the mark by Murray. UCLA, its 10th game this season, scoring 80 points or more. They get it done on both ends of the floor, Mary.
They did, but we have to tip our cap to Penn State.
1,000%.
Talk about competing.
Ooh, beautiful dime by Kiki Rice as Jaquez connects at the cup.
This is going to really be some kind of afternoon of basketball. These teams have a combined record of 66-5. But now you got a couple of heavyweights going head-to-head today. This will be a great matchup. Lauren Betts, UCLA, and Aronette Vonleh of Baylor. 2 high-scoring teams. They go down deep, and a first bucket scored by Gabriela Jaquez.
Screen here of Jaquez coming off and doing a good job of just bodying up the man in the basket.
Roanoke and Nikesha Thompson. Boy, in a hurry, Walker lost it, and UCLA takes over. In a hurry, here comes Kiki Rice. Kiki down the lane, backs it out, and they'll do a reset. Jaquez down low. Betts didn't take it. Jaquez, blazing drive to the hole, and that works.
Well, Jaquez is so impressive in how she can get downhill. You already see her, Gabriela Jaquez. Look at her just go right past Little Paige Bugs. Does a good job of embracing that contact, finishing through. She's got a good extension, good reach, and soft touch on that lay-in.
Won its games, its point differential is 23.5 points. They're not used to being down this much early in the game, 8-2. Shot clock down to 6. Blocked by Betts. UCLA takes over. Kiki Rice down the lane. Nice look and the feed, and it completes the play. Jaquez finishes off.
The run, everyone's filling lanes. They do a great job as Rice is surveying the floor, finding where her defender's at, and it is go time.
Betts double team. Nice catch. Reverse, beautifully done by Gabriela Jaquez.
That's a great job with her verticality, staying up on the other end of the floor. Strong drive, and that's what I mean. You got to worry with
and you give credit to Baylor, the different defensive looks they're showing, doing a good job in their denials and in their pressure, but that's been the one area for the Bruins that hasn't allowed them to really open this one up.
Jaquez for three, got it.
Everything, which includes some deep shooting. Top of the key, drains it. And the Bruins, yeah, they're loving it.
Nice kicks. A three from the right wing's good. Gabriela Jaquez. Adams tries again. Can't finish.
Give Adams credit. But that's where Betts is so dangerous back there. And UCLA so incredibly quick and dangerous.
You know, yes, to the kids, feel free to master your craft of this game that you love, but understand there are things that are bigger than basketball. And these kids understand it. They're remarkable and they're resilient.
They are playing for all those people. You can sense it just being around them, how much they want to play for the state of California and for the Los Angeles community. On the opening possession of the third quarter, an in-out three.
Her poise, her passing ability, and the work she does before she gets the ball, but she never gets frustrated.
On the attack, that was altered by Jaquez, and now Betts corrals.
Betts is a smart basketball player.
And multiple defenders coming at her. Now Rice back into Betts. Number 51 is automatic.
She is in what she is athletically.
Signed the Bruins for next season, so they'll be on the floor together. Cannot wait for that. Sienna, a star in her own right. More of a forward.
Now they go to some handoff action. Deep into Betts again. Remember how good she passes out of double teams. Jaquez threw some traffic shots. And she works so hard. Now got a double-digit lead for UCLA.
Another turnover for Maryland.
Maryland's 9th turnover. Betts the lob, and DeBerry got a piece of momentum with China.
Gonna pick up again in pressure.
That's 42. Amari DeBerry, no surprise there. She's had the matchup against Betts for most of this game. Schmeichel trying to find some space, gets it down to DeBerry, just rejected by Lauren Betts.
Yeah, you got to get creative down there. You won't be able to just turn and shoot over Betts. Brenda Freeze called a timeout, got her team settled in, and that's a good sign when you can come out of the timeout and get a score.
Jaquez, attack mode baseline, kicks it out to Dugalich. Right inside the three-point line there.
They've got plenty of time left, but they got to get the crowd into it. Now that they've stayed out of foul trouble, maybe take some chances, high-risk, high-reward defense.
A dump down from Dulcie, too.
So she's been recovering, trying to get back to contest.
Jaquez had some
the number one team. There's an intimidation factor, and they have come out and have been tough.
Jaquez stepping back, tough shot and stick.
On the road, Minnesota coming out after halftime, remaining steady. Cutter picking up that foul. I love Angela Dugalich. Look at her apply the pressure. Passes open. Look at the recovery without fouling.
Gracholski picks up that fine. Good free throw shooter. There's a look at Dugalich, but you got to
got to her spot, backing down the defender, and a high percentage look.
Catch, shoot, three. Just a good cut and read by Heyer. Here's Betts, double. Oh, what a pass by Betts. Career high.
So McMahon hits a pair, and here comes some more of this Ohio State defense. And when you watch the defense, you understand why this Buckeyes team has won 20 games or more in 4 straight seasons now.
Absolutely. They're very intentional about it. It's what they do. They go to it. To be able to press like this, you have to be in shape. You got to buy into it, and you got to have that trust. But this is how you break the press. You saw they got to the middle, Lauren Betts, got it back to Kiki Rice, and just dumped it down. That's all you have to do. It's a top-heavy press. So once you get past those first two lines, you know, it's over with.
Jelani Cambridge picking up her first personal foul. Gabriela Jaquez connects on that first free throw. She's averaging a career high of 10.2 points per game and shoots better than 86% at the stripe. UCLA in a little bit of a field goal drought, so those
close. She puts emphasis on those legends, the people that set the pathway before these players here, so they have an understanding of that caliber that they have to match up to.
Gabriela Jaquez coming up with the steal. UCLA has numbers. Jaquez gets it back to Rice. She thought about the three and resets.
It's that defense that's allowed them to go on a run and get possessions on the offensive end.
Lauren Betts turning and hitting.
Dog in the nation, but when you hold your team to a certain standard, it's not enough for the ranking and the record. You got to play the best Bruin basketball.
You don't want to be playing your best basketball in early February anyway. You want to save that for the run in March. And when you think about the opportunity, if things continue to go UCLA's way, we could experience in women's basketball back-to-back undefeated champions. Betts has 17. Jones has to be careful with 3 fouls and use that screen beautifully. She's got 9.
Right on the money, Cindy. That's just a great read. And knowing the personnel on defense who's guarding you. We talked about it, that stop and pop in the mid-range.
I don't know how Jaquez got that shot up, but she did.
The basket, that's the counter move, that spin, that's what she loves to do.
The lead that was once 10 is down to 5. The little floater from Jaquez off the glass. What a nice kiss. Cambridge
to finish.
Oh, that floater was pretty. Because you got to go sky high over 6'7". Inside to Betts again. Back-to-back buckets denied, but Jaquez is there to clean up the mess. Jelani, the step through. I wanted that to fall. That move was so cool. And there's Kiki Rice. No. Jaquez, yes. Gabriela Jaquez making Kevin McGuff burn another timeout. The lead that had been erased is now up to 13 points. If I'm a Bruins fan, I'm at least checking theory. And Betts comes down with yet another rebound. She's got 14 of those. And the 14 rebounds matches her season high that she had against South Carolina. UCLA trying to beat a ranked team for the 6th time this season. Rice off the bounce. Kicks it out. Jaquez, 3. That'll work.
The way Kiki Rice is maneuvering off these ball screen actions again, opening up the floor for the shooters.
USC Saturday before returning home to face Minnesota and Iowa. Baseline jumper off the mark. Barker skying for the rebound.
But with this tough challenge for Ohio State ahead comes so much opportunity when you talk about resume padding.
You can't forget putting the ball in the basket. Double figures yet again for the freshman sensation as she picks up the personal foul. She also has 8 rebounds and 6 dimes. Woo. Shot clock and game clock almost identical. Round of applause starts to rain down here at Pauley as UCLA will record its 22nd straight victory, now the longest win streak in program history. And that is the icing on the
15 range, that's where she cooks. Kelly only had the couple of points against Maryland, only played the 18 minutes, so off to a good start. 6-4 UCLA with the lead. #1 and undefeated UCLA in the house. Good crowd on hand. Super Bowl Sunday. Bring it on.
This is the start Oregon needed. Get it, keep it close early on. Get the crowd into it.
Good defense, Kelly. Rice gives it up. Jaquez, floater. Oh, baby, over Philly.
2 on the shot clock. Had to get something up.
Didn't want the pick. Looks to turn the corner. Good D by Jones, and Falatea throws it away. Here's Rice. Rice didn't like the numbers. Gardner catch and shoot. That's one that Gardner usually makes. Great play by Barker, and that results in the easy 2 for Jaquez. That's all.
That's big. Jones has been great. Take another look at this, though. Barker pokes it out. Kiki Rice on the perimeter. You're not going to have an easier shot throw shooter on this team.
So here's Gardner. 1 minute to go in the game. Betts back on the floor, wants the ball. Double teamed inside. What a look inside to Jaquez.
And Oregon turned it over. Look at this again. Lauren Betts in the post. And what's she gotten so much better at? Facilitating. Averaging almost 3 assists per game. Leading.
You can tell both teams still feeling it out. Even the greats have nerves. Jaquez, the verse. Because Betts gets comfortable if you do the same thing. And they did just that. Different looks. Maybe Dugalich thought the shot clock was winding down.
Did not go through shoot around, and so UCLA just getting used to the rhythm and timing without their 6'7" center.
Oh, Barker hitting the cutter beautifully. Comes away with it.
And a nice job not fouling by Barker, just holding her ground.
Long ball to Jaquez.
And a good hit for Jaquez. Not a ball.
Dugalich sizing up. Aralt. Stepping back, tough shot, that's short. Jaquez, another offensive rebound. UCLA, and Jaquez scores.
24-1. The Bruins start out with the ball, and there's Lauren Betts. Yeah, she's back.
Passer, it's pick your poison.
Late shot clock. Bryant stripped from behind into the arms of Angela Dugalich, the Oregon transfer. Boston falls down. The pass is over the top. The ball is still in play. Wait a second. We're still playing. Jaquez realized it. Arnesalo off the bench for the Bruins. Jaquez is there.
Lauren Betts at 6'7", looking for her small forward, Gabriela Jaquez. Game.
Nice behind the back move by Jaquez.
Really good rebounding teams, top 2 in the Big Ten in terms of margin. And Corey Close has not been thrilled with how her team has been rebounding as of late. That's a big focus for them.
Yeah, UCLA sits at the top of the Big Ten in so many of the rebounding categories. But Corey Close wants her team to be better at defensive rebounding. Jaquez pump fake attack mode and scores.
And that's a player that Corey Close really wants to.
For Iowa at 7. And just with UCLA's record, how talented they are, you have to wonder if and when a run is coming.
Yeah, this is when they need to start to feel comfortable playing without Lauren Betts. There's going to be times when she's in foul trouble like she is right now, and you can't just go scoreless. Big second chance there.
Fierbach tries to make something of it. Kiki Rice. She gets in that lane, she's lethal. The lob up to Beck. She's under the basket. Still finds a way.
A screen there for Lucy Olsen, and then just saw how they played it and made a hard cut right to the block.
Jaquez rattles that one home. Much needed for the Bruins.
They could certainly use to get a little bit hotter from 3. Now 3.
Pickpocketed by Lucy Olsen. One-on-one opportunity. Fierbach messed that up.
Big play for Fierbach there. Really saved the leg.
That was forcing UCLA to reset. No, that's a repost. They're really working this 2-woman game between Betts and Rice. big board. And that's the kind of play that Corey Close wants to see.
Really starting to get after it on the glass. Just crashing hard. And we mentioned this is a player that Corey Close has identified as a veteran on this team who's always been very poised and solid in the big moments. And she challenged Gabriela to bring that back. It's just had a really nice stretch of energy here.
And her nickname is all gas, gas. Jaquez today, 7 points, 8 rebounds. I mean, the stats are showing the impact that she's had on this game. Jaquez will have a couple here. Now in a starting role. She came off the bench last season, averaging double digits. Averages about 10 this season. 2-point game.
Very close, really challenging to improve their play. Arnesalo, talented point guard, just a freshman, and Tamia Gardner really came here out of the transfer portal as a three-point shooter.
Allie Douglas on the floor for Wisconsin. Open look. Arnesalo can't hit the three. Offensive rebound. Jaquez fades and puts it in.
And Gabriela Jaquez has got 9 rebounds in the win against Iowa.
Betts with her first block. Just tracked it the entire way. Jaquez running the floor for 2.
Jaquez, such a talent.
So Rice, Gardner, Jones, Jaquez, and Betts, the 5 for the Bruins. Wisconsin has Myers, Douglas, Williams, Porter, and Leitzinger now stepping up on Rice defensively. Rice couldn't shake her. 10 to shoot. Betts, spray it out. Jaquez misses the 3. Rebound batted. Saved by Betts. Jaquez, right place, right time. Jones will line it up. In and out. Another rebound. Jaquez for 2.
Jaquez just bringing so much energy, a spring to that half of the floor with her offense.
Williams against Betts. Over the top, too strong. And Jaquez clears another rebound. Rice running. Stops, feeds. Jaquez inside. Betts with position, and 1. And the second foul on Sarah Williams.
Lauren Betts established position against a really physical defender in Sarah Williams. That's these jingles and really see what you got.
Yeah, don't ask me to go Liberty. I don't think I can do it. Dugalich on the outside, stays on the floor with Rice, Betts, Jaquez, and Jones, the starting 5 for UCLA. Betts bounce, Rice doubled, finds the open. It is Jones in and out. Jaquez again, an offensive rebound, and she's fouled.
I looked right to Coach.
Stuck out about what she said. First thing was they watched something called point guard film together as a group, and that's their own film, that's maybe some others' film to make sure that they're learning the proper way to be aggressive, get into the paint. The other thing is they have something called a mind gym.
On the floor.
That's a nice out-of-bounds play for Jaquez and UCLA.
Not the first time we've said that about the Bruins. They do a very
Juju twice thought about a shot. Instead, gave it up for Smith, who misses. The Jaquez legacy continues at UCLA. Here is Betts against Dr. Nwafo. A little step through. There's Jaquez.
Sees 2-3 players on her. Everyone defense collapses. Look at all eyes are on her. Jaquez was the cut from the weak side. And I think that type of movement is what we haven't seen enough of from these teams. So much of what they do is dominance on the defensive side.
Oh, another slip from Jaquez. She has been awesome away from the ball.
That's part of what UCLA can do.
Another baseline inbound that leads to an open player in Jaquez, and she'll go to the foul line. What is happening on these baseline out of bounds?
Well,
just well executed and run plays. And whether it's the lack of attention to best offensively, we have not seen that. And again, it goes hand in hand of very good pressuring USC defense, shooting the gaps, getting in passing lanes. However, for UCLA, the sharpness of their cutting set